1 2. This is his lordship, and we're going to talk about the micro haters. We're going to scratch that last live. I only got about 25 minutes to talk. I got to crash. I got things to do. But shout out to everyone, and thank you for joining his lordship on the super late night.
Unsafe, unsound behavior, if you ask me.
Yeah,
just heard how a DJ sound.
What's up? This is his lordship. This should sound a little bit better. That just goes to show that you should pay attention to your meters and your readouts. Okay. I'm going to delete the last show, and I'm not going to repeat everything that I said. I'm going to get right to it. Shout out to Bright Street and C. Wilson. I'm not going to repeat all of that, and I'm going to delete. I don't like messed up shows. Like, it could be a messed up topic, but the presentation got to be right. Always pay attention to your monitors and your readouts and your lights. So we're going to get right to it. Do I sound clear? Right? Let me see if I can find something here. Micro haters, 101.
What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna test this audio, and I'd like to know if it's muffled. If someone could help me out that's in the chat. So just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, it's interesting how people are concerned about the quality of their audio, but not the quality of the way they behave online. They reverse troll you, they taunt you. If you try to answer their questions, they'll block you and continue to ask you questions and make it look like you scared to answer the question or you don't have an answer to the question. Which is crazy. They act like you playing a game, that you part of a group, but they're part of a group and they're playing the game. You see what I'm saying? And they admit it. I constantly say what I haven't done. I haven't doxed anyone. I never told anybody that I got your real pictures. I ain't never thrown Sheba under the bus. And I would like to say, this is going to make some people a little upset, but y'all got to cut me some slack. Sheba, even though she may have done things to others, possibly even violent things, she has not, as far as I'm aware of, done anything to me. But she do look guilty when she was removed from a group that she does not participate in, and nobody uses this group. This group has not been active for over a year, and she wasn't using the group either, but she was a member. When she was removed from an inactive group because she had an argument with someone, I'm going to keep that anonymous. She had an argument with someone, and she was removed from the group. Then Latanya got this fake pixelated picture of me. So that looks very, convenient. It looks very odd. I am the king of common sense. And like I said in the other video that I'm going to delete, if you if Bright Street said, "Yo, man, my throat is fucked up. I don't know what it is. It's like a gland right here. It's sore." I'd be like, "Bright, you been kissing strange women. Would you go to a concert or some shit? Where'd you go? You went on a retreat, a yoga retreat, kiss one of them, girls." And Bright would probably go, "Yeah, man, how'd you know I kissed? I just met this girl, man. Fucking kissed her like an hour later." Yeah, Bright, I was young once too, man. That shit can happen. But see, people like Latanya will just try to lie and then double down on the lie because she would hate to admit that what you said may be the truth. You see what I'm saying? And that's it's hard to make these analogies, but that's the best way to describe it. So everything that Latanya do, somebody has already done it in life, especially when you my age and the women that be in my chat, they've lived life long enough to see shit right away. You say the only reason I got pregnant because the condom broke. We look at each other and start laughing and shit, and then to a childlike mind, like a person with a childlike mind, they go, "Oh, they're fucking making fun of me. They're hating on me." Because only two reasons: either you too naive or uneducated to know that's not the only reason you got pregnant, or you know exactly what you're saying and you trying to get some kind of sympathy or pity, which is understandable because I feel like 75% of support and donations come from pity and people being manipulated, playing on their emotions and stuff like that. And then the other 25% is like 20 of that 25% is organic. It's just people who don't even do videos, don't you do YouTube. They just fans of content creators, and that 20% is genuine organic donations. But I feel like 75% is just somebody who feels sorry for someone who played on their heartstrings, and they can relate to something that they see. You got to weave, I got to weave. You a single parent, I'm a single parent. Or you married, and I'm married. Or you got one kid, I got one kid. Or you wear glasses, I wear. Or you smoke weed, I smoke weed. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like you got the same square feet as me, or we got the same car, or we live in the same city, or we both tall. It don't have nothing to do with the actual show, because if you really look through the through the fog and the mist and the dust, you realize that they really don't have a show. Nobody has a production. Only a few people. Like now that the beef sector been coming around, I'm actually impressed with how some of these people actually have a show with commercials, because it's called YouTube, your television. And I am surprised that they don't beef every day. They actually have some content to talk about, and they got to put the negative in there because nobody pays attention. So it's like a tide that comes in and the tide goes out. So the beef comes in, it fades out, and then here come real content, and then the beef come back, because they got to keep those numbers and views going and generating. So let me see here. James in the building. And that's strange but funny that she gets removed from something that hasn't been used for a year. Yeah, it is strange. It's funny that an argument broke out in a private group that was inactive, because when you start talking, anybody that's in that group can read it and they can pay attention, and you can see that they're in the room even if they're not speaking. So I thought that when that person was removed, that I guess she got mad and passed that picture on to Latanya. But I remember at first I didn't remember, but I played a joke in the group. I said, since we're in the group and we all cool with each other, I'm gonna let y'all see what I really look like. And I dropped a pixelated picture in the group. But I'm no fool. I've been online since 1996. I wouldn't drop my real picture in the group. I use the Photoshop I think it's called LH or Lighthouse app. To You can blur pictures, you can pixelate pictures, and so when she say I got his real picture, you know, that's full of shit. And she even threw her good friend. I guess she's never around when 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 Latanya throws her under the bus. Latanya said Sheba gave me his real picture. So now I don't think Sheba did anything against me because everything that Latanya says is a lie. So that means that Sheba, if Sheba told her stuff about me, she didn't tell her the real stuff. So I'm not mad at Queen Sheba anymore, because Queen Sheba gave her, if she did give her the pixelated picture, she knew that she still can't see what I look like through the picture. And so Latanya gonna lie and say I have the same, either she has the same picture or another picture of me that shows the real me. Now, on top of all of that, I've showed my face before. I've cammed up. My picture be on the screen. You just have to look at why you tripping videos or something like that. I have nothing to hide. You could put my government name into Google, and there no amateur pictures will pop up. Now, how can I be online since 1996, and you can Google my government name, and only professional pictures will pop up? And there's no pictures of me in the picture by myself, so you would still have to figure out which one is me. So the only thing would show up is press pictures from some paper or magazine article. All right. Now there are some occasions where you get a cousin or your father or somebody snap a picture and post it, but other than that, every photo I ever posted or somebody else posted was treated and edited, all that shit. Good cameras. I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to hide. I've done nobody wrong. I have not gotten anyone fired. I have never doxed anybody. I've never looked up anybody's background. But but black people and others, but I only know my people. They like to make up their own rules. They like to make up their own house rules. They'll jump in your pool and come up with their own rules in your own pool. you know, you play Monopoly at three different black people house. You got three different rules for Monopoly, and you have to adapt. But Monopoly has its own rules, and if you can read and comprehend what it says on the box, you can really have a good time with Monopoly. I love Monopoly. Now, I play Monopoly on the iPad. I wouldn't play it any other way. You see, LJ put some cocoa butter and vitamin E on that facial scar, and yeah, don't be putting your mouth on folks. Cause a girl at UC Berkeley, you could look this up. I think she was a track runner. She kissed a guy at UC Berkeley in the gym, and she died from meningitis. Uh, but you can you can meet someone who, she might have went to after hour. No, not after hour. She might have went to happy hour and then to a bar and then to a club, and you met her, and she's all gassed up, and y'all, you know, making out, as they say, and you could lose your life. You could catch some kind of mouth disease. Matter of fact, I just had a client who had stage 4 cancer in his lungs, but the cancer started on his tongue, and he had complications from having HPV. So basically, he's dying from having oral sex. And the type of, there's 150 strands of HPV. Only a few strands are cancerous. Um, Unfortunately for him, he caught the cancerous strand of HPV in his mouth. They cured it, but it spread to his lungs. He got stage 4 cancer. Turn my volume up? Okay. Let me see. One, two, one, two, two, two. Well, I'm glad I turned my volume up before. Oops. Before I got too far off into it. All right. So let's get to it. Now, you know, people can take the high road or they can take the low road. When you choose to take the low road, it says something about you. Can you hear me better now? Okay, much better. Good. Yeah, so I've been accused of being the mastermind behind some bullshit. Like, I can tell adults what to do. Like, I can tell strangers what to do, and we clicked up. I don't have a posse, a team. I don't have the money team. I don't have an army. I don't have the House of Lords, even though that sounds kind of cool. Maybe I'm gonna start the House of Lords. You know, when I get monetized, then we'll have a special logo and all that shit. The House of Lords, His Lordship and the House of Lords. Then we all could be lords. But anyway, yeah, you know, they come for you right before you get monetized. They come for you, right? That's how the game goes. You know how Prometheus always talking about some kind of YouTube conspiracy? You know, like, oh, I understand what they're trying to do. See, I know that the game, and you know, I ain't going back and forth so you could get views and subs. You know what I'm saying? If I want to, I want to come at you. I will put your name in the title. If I ain't got your name in the title, I really don't have a problem with you. But you know, it's funny how the language that they use, the anger in their voice, you know, the blocking, and you know, the slick this, it really don't reflect on me. It's, you know what I'm saying, it says something about them.
And if it's choppy or something, just let me know. Watching it though is that I see everybody competing for the attention of Phi Babe, and I think that's interesting. But you know, if you look at it from the standpoint, from what I heard from ZX's audio today, and from what I witnessed with them, is I think the sister made a decision. I think she chose lying. How many times have you, Pennywise, me, shown the actual fucking shit? These people don't care. They don't care.
No,
Here's
they
the
don't.
thing. Here's the thing, Mrs. Mo.
Yeah, how many times have I showed shit? You know, I go after people who actually said something directly to me or did something directly to me. I didn't jump on anybody else. You know, like, you know how sometimes people mess with other content creators and then people get involved. I was cursed. I was disrespected, then blocked and all of that stuff. I was mine, you know, I've been called a drug addict, and you know, other people have been called in times and pedophiles and all kind of stuff like that. This person has a foul mouth, you know, and I see why they all relate to each other, because they all got trash mouths. Latanya, Miss Mo, and Prometheus all have garbage mouths, so they all can relate to each other. And even though I can have a garbage mouth, because this is your television, this is YouTube, I don't want to be on YouTube the same way I would be at home or on the street. You know, I wouldn't be the same on the street as I am at home. Nobody needs to know the real me but my immediate friends and family. You know, when you go to Burger King or Macy's or whatever, you don't get the real them. You get the salesperson. You get the person at the cash register. You know, and they put on that extra. You know, it's fake. When you go to Disneyland, they greet you and shit. Sometimes if they like what you look like, if you got the modeled nuclear family, they'll give you some free passes right there, because they know you look good in their park, and they will take some photo ops, and you already gave permission when you bought the ticket to let Disneyland use your likeliness. And that's what I'm saying about the reason why I'm saying this. It sounds like I'm going off to the left, but when you on YouTube, you gave YouTube and YouTube permission to use your likeliness. You share ownership with YouTube, your materials. Your stuff is copyrighted because of YouTube, not because of Washington, D.C. You're just protected under YouTube's protection, and they call it copyright. But if you don't have a copyright in Washington, D.C., you don't have a copyright. You see, I have over 400 videos on this channel. You think I'm gonna buy? You only I think you pay for every, like, you can pay for 5 copyrights at a time. I'm a music artist. So I know you could, you know, you could do a copyright, or you can buy them in bulk. Now the thing is, the only reason your material have the strength of a copyright is because everything is time stamped, and so the judge will know the date and the time and the location it was recorded, and then they will hear your voice or see your name, or if you use a government name. So that protects you because you can prove the originator of the content. So that is a weak copyright. And then anything, you know, YouTube is a big major corporation, which is right down the street. So if you really piss me off, then, you know, if I look, all I need is 98 subs. If I start going live from in front of YouTube and start talking to employees and stuff like that about certain YouTubers, it's going to get real interesting. Now, what I want to do is do shows about the homeless and all of that stuff, because if you think Skid Row is bad, I know another place that's even worse than Skid Row. It looked like they at war. You know, it looked like a bunch of displaced people, refugees, but these are just people who fell on hard times right before the pandemic. They closed 7 different subsidized housing neighborhoods with the rebuilding, but they're going to rebuild less units, and not everybody can move into those units, because if you have any felonies or you cannot move back into subsidized. So this is the first time I've seen so many homeless blacks. Usually I see white people in the tents and stuff like that, but I don't even see homeless whites anymore. I just see, you know, homeless white people everywhere, you know, which is not cool. And now they built these little shacks, these little tiny shacks, so they can have an address and stuff. But yeah, you know, these people are a trip. You know, what's the big deal? Like, the only power they have is to block you and talk shit. You know, and then they use these very explosive words, and they speak in these metaphors, and they say these things that have no meaning at all. And then they say it, and I'll give you another example. This old man was coming down the street in his car. A lady was making a left turn, but it's like a blind left turn. And so she cut too sharp, and the old man crashed into a light pole, and to avoid hitting her head on, right? He saved her life and his own life, but he was a little distraught from the incident. So the lady got out the car. I'm not going to even say what her nationality is, but she got out the car and she said, "Are you okay? Oh, it's okay. You didn't see me. You didn't know what driving. Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself?" He's in shock. He's in shock. You didn't see me. Don't worry about it. You have insurance, right? Are you okay? You didn't. I know you didn't mean it, right? So now the witnesses are hearing her talk condescending to him, talking to him as if she wasn't in the wrong, and because of her nationality or whatever, people going to believe her, you know, because she's articulate. She's a nationality that most people trust. And the guy is a senior citizen, and he's distraught from the whole accident because the light pole could have crushed him in the car. You know what I'm saying? And he mad that she got in the way. So that's LaTanya. She will never admit to anything, and she does so many things. Like, she makes so many mistakes that by making a video to show other people what not to do, became a secondary mission. The first mission was to get people to not take Nature Boy serious, to see him as a joke, and possibly cause him to have less members and fans, right? Me growing up and, you know, reading Malcolm X biography and learning Black history and all this stuff, I don't know why anybody would take Nature Boy serious, but people do. And they let their kids listen to him. They let their kids say hello to them. All kind of shit. It's very weird. So here comes LaTanya with her rumors, her hearsay, her slander, and her gang stalking, right? And she expects you to work with her against Nature Boy when he can use what she does as proof of harassment. So we nobody could roll with her because she gang stalks and harass people, and she don't use her own material. She monetized 2 channels using Nature Boy name in every title and using other people's videos because she don't know how to make a video. She think when you go live and YouTube turns your live show into a video, she calls that making a video. She hasn't made one video. Well, she might have made some pre-recorded videos, but that's not the same as gathering information, doing research, cutting and pasting, and doing audio and all on the video software and creating a video with a title and an ending. That's what I mean. Going live and letting the app record you, and then when it's over, the app automatically posts you. That's not making a video. That's just a pre-recorded live show. Just like podcasting. Podcasts don't have commercials. You know, but you can't tell her nothing. Podcasts are not longer than 28 minutes. The average is 15 minutes. But just because you see Joe Rogan and all these motherfuckers, Joe Budden and all these fools have 2-hour podcasts and they're famous, it doesn't mean that they're really doing what they say they're doing. They know that most people don't know. Most people are uneducated. You got to miss me with that shit. I'm sitting here going, damn, they getting away with murder, because radio is dead and people don't know what podcasts are. And so they use the word podcast to remain relevant when they're doing radio pretending to be a podcast. A podcast cannot even be streamed. A stream is a stream. A podcast is a podcast. It's a feed. It's a RSS. It's a RSS feed. You don't go to the podcast come to you. When I wake up in the morning, if I'm subscribed to a bunch of podcasts, they will be sitting on my browser or on my MP3 player or whatever the fuck, on my phone or whatever. It's going to be sitting there already. All I got to do is click play. But if I got to go to a website to listen to the podcast, then it's not a podcast. The podcast come to you. You go to the website and you subscribe to the feed, and the feed comes to you. It's hassle free. That's why people don't have time to sit all night and listen to a 2-hour fucking show. You only commute to work. It only take you 30 minutes to go to work. Why would you listen to a 3-hour podcast, some shit you gotta keep listening to until it's finished, when there's tons of information you're trying to receive? You want to know about this, that, Bitcoins, sports, hip-hop, politics, all that shit. So, and you don't want it all from the same source. You know, you might, even though you're a Democrat, you might want to listen to the Republicans' podcast just so you, can strengthen your argument against, the naysayers. So if you ever want to know what a real podcast sound like and look like, then go to NPR, go to NPI, go to KQED, go to BBC, because BBC sets the broadcast standards for the world. You know, when you watch Chinese news, Mexican news, Russian news, American news, Canadian news, any news around the world, they're doing the same format as BBC established for news and radio and television. They're number one worldwide. You can be in the igloo in Alaska and hear BBC. All right, you could be on a $300,000 toilet in Antarctica and hear BBC. You see? So it's super late, man. But let me see what y'all saying. I got to play some more audio. Let's see here. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of why I went live, because these are some micro haters, man. You got to find the hate. Like, they're right. You do have to look for it. You don't have to go to their channels, but I don't miss shit. If you connected to Uncle Fester and you try to make her look like she's the victim and make me look like I'm the bad guy, then I'm going to have to go in, and nobody's blocked here. Nobody's blocked. My ego I got rhino skin. I got tough skin. My ego is intact. I'm not worried about you getting subs off of me or stealing people from me. I ain't worried about you. I'm an adult. I cannot be bullied. I'm a grown man, and I can do a whole show without mentioning children. And I would never compare myself to a child, and I would never think that I could demonstrate something online as an adult male that a child would take and learn from that situation and apply it to themselves. A child is not grown. The children will look at other children to learn lessons. You could teach a child lessons, but you're not going to be on YouTube taking your bonnet off, showing how you neglected your hair, and think a child is going to, learn something from that. A child is going to say, "Mama, what happened to her hair?" She left her weave on too long. Or she was in a fight. We don't know the truth because we can't get the truth out of this. The truth is just not in this person. They so estranged that they will get other strangers to lie for them. But that one stranger said that her parents didn't have full custody. See, they didn't rehearse. They didn't rehearse. They had it. She called and told the person what she gonna say because the whole conversation was abnormal. The whole conversation was divisive. I don't understand. Now I understand now that I'm older that anybody can read, but if you can't comprehend, you're still stuck. So if you can't read and comprehend, you really fucked up. But what if you learn how to read, but you still can't comprehend? And what if you lack common sense and self-awareness? You lack common sense and self-awareness. So you can use these strong words, these inflated words to describe how you feel about how you was treated. And it sounds really entertaining and comfortable, colorful on the live stream, but it doesn't make it true. And the words that Miss Mo used and the words that Sheba used, the words that Prometheus used are just over the top. It's just a bunch of metaphors that have no meaning. You see what I'm saying? An adult can't be bullied. An adult knows to get offline. An adult knows to switch over to Vimeo or Twitch or 100 other video channels where you don't have to go where you're respected. If you keep having issues with people on YouTube, then go where you respected, where people will patronize you. Patronize you. People will cater to your ego. Look, if people hated on me, I would take that with a grain of salt. But if people always agreed with me and gave me props and pumped me up, I would take that with a grain of salt too, because you don't know if you're being trolled either way. When people agree with you all the time, you could be being trolled as well. People will donate to you and agree with you, and then they got a wrench, and they the ones that's the real troll. Prometheus used to be in my chat, and he had a wrench, and I never paid attention to him because everybody had wrenches, and you really couldn't use them. But one day Prometheus said, "Take my wrench. I don't want it." He might have said, "You mess with Tanya, and she's something wrong with her or something, or something, whatever when he gets on his soapbox, it's usually he feels justified. So let's pretend that I'm them, like I'm Miss Mo in the gang, right? He took off his blue jacket in the room and threw it on the ground and say, "Come get this motherfucker," in front of a whole crowd. See, if you could feel some kind of way about the things that I say, then I can try your logic. I'm gonna try your logic. You embarrassed me when you asked for your wrench back. I mean, when you asked to take your wrench in front of my audience during the middle of my show, I had to stop my show and take your wrench, and that was insulting and embarrassing. And I just never had a chance to get around to, to mess with you about that. It took a couple of years for me to get angry enough because you was a non-factor and nobody really know who you are, Prometheus. So it took me a while to come around to let you know. So now you know. When you gave the wrench back, I was offended because I didn't have to give you the wrench in the first place, and you probably asked for the wrench back over another person I don't know. I don't know you, and the person you're trying to cape for, I don't know them. But that person lied on me and continued to lie on me and other people and my associates. Every other word is a lie, and that's the problem, is that they lack self-awareness and they lack common sense, and they don't know that you saw everything. So now LaTanya act like she never used the DU recorder. She's never used the DU recorder. That's the source of her problems, because by the time she used the DU recorder, everybody had made the same mistake she did, and they stopped using the DU recorder for that reason. You got to understand, LaTanya, whatever you do, you're about 2 or 3 years behind everybody else. Everybody done did it already. All the lies, all the self-victimhood, I'm being bullied. That routine is old, and people used to use apps like the DU recorder and learn quickly that their privacy and safety can be easily compromised. You see, and every time she asks Google to define a word for her, she'll say some shit that does not go with the definition, right? And then she'll play Google saying the definition, and they always prove her wrong, and she'll still sit there and look at the camera and act like she was right. Now that will make people think that you're insane. And then when you come back and say, well, what I did yesterday and what I did on purpose, because I wanted to see who was going to correct me or not, and you nosy motherfuckers did exactly what I thought you was going to do. You was going to tell me that I got the shit wrong, and I knew I got the shit wrong, but I just wanted to see who was nosy enough, who was going to have opinion, because there is no wrong or right in this situation. It's just two different ways of saying the same thing. People will look at you sideways when you make those kind of statements. When you say you can have infidelity with your kids, other people's kids, the mailman, your parents, your mom, dad, you can have infidelity. You don't know what the definition of infidelity is. You see? So for me, it never been personal attacks. It's never been her weight, her hair. If you listen, please go to the authorities, please, because they're gonna, when they hear your videos, they're gonna hear you call people dum-dums and stupid and yelling in an empty house at the top of your lungs, and they're gonna see hours and hours and hours of footage of you by yourself, not cooking for your son, not washing your ass, not cleaning your house, and they're gonna see objects in your house that's been there for 2 or 3 years. So I'm a taxpayer. My tax money goes to welfare and Social Security and SSI and Medi-Cal and all of these government subsidies. So when you sit in my face and commit SSI fraud, someone like me might make a phone call. I'm too busy. I stay away from the government, but someone like me might make a phone call. If you if you're gagging on dildos on a worldwide public stream that's not a porn site, and you drinking massive amounts of alcohol, and you got on lingerie, and you're live, and you say everybody knows where you live at, and you fear for your life, somebody may call the police because they really are. They're not being entertained. They actually is afraid for you. And then when the police come, because you lack self-awareness and you don't know what type of phone you have, the microphone picked up the whole police conversation. Every time the police came, the microphone picked up, because you didn't press the mute button. The police said, ma'am, you left the keys in the door. So not only you were sucking on dildos live, and drinking mass amount of liquor, and had the music up to the point where you can't even hear somebody come through the door. Somebody saved your life, but you get online and cry victim and cry foul, and they called the police on me. They're hacking, just like that girl 21 Bad, or Miss Ops, Queen Ops. If you see trash on the ground, no mattress, mice and roaches, and Queen Ops servicing tricks while live on Big O, and her son cussed like a sailor, and she claims to be making $25,000 a month, but still collecting welfare. It's whatever. Somebody might call. I think when people call, they really are concerned for the children. I mean, if you live for hours and you ignore your children, and you hear the children crying in the background, and every now and then you hear a child fall off a chair. One time I heard a child bump their head, fall out of a chair or something, hollering, right? Somebody might call, not me, but it's the World Wide Web. And do you know they get back online and cuss people out and want to fight people because somebody tried to save the children's life? If CPS comes out and everything is legit, they're not going to take the children. If the shit is foul, they're going to take it, point blank. That's with anything, a pet, a child, anything. And I'm sorry for ignoring the chat, because I got to go to bed, and I just wanted to get this off my chest. I have a lot of fun on YouTube and stuff like that. It's very entertaining to me. I look at it just like being CBS, NBC, or ABC. I look at it just like a network. Except instead of using satellites and shit, we got the internet to broadcast your network. Some people just take this shit way too far, and they confuse reality with fantasy. Now Big O allow you to link up with people and date people and try to find a love interest. It's all designed for that, for back chats. Big O got everything built in. You can stream YouTube videos without getting flagged. You can have panels. You can have private chats. You don't need to use a third-party app to have private chats and stuff like that. They'll even show you who you're compatible with, and you can see who went by your Big O page just to look at you, just to see what you look like and shit. They'll tell you how many people visited and who it is. But YouTube, I always thought of it as just a place to have a show, just like you got The Price is Right, or Good Times, or or Bad Boys or whatever. I thought because it has a symbol of a TV, it doesn't have a symbol of a vagina. Even McDonald's have a symbol of breast, so you can confuse sex and food with McDonald's. But with YouTube, it's just a symbol of a television, of a tube, and it says YouTube. It don't say you fuck or YouTube. It say YouTube. So I be confused when I see all this extra shit going on in the background with YouTube. A motherfucker can't just have a show, But the person who actually what's the word? The person who actually jeopardized the trust of the people that try to help them is the victim, right? Somebody played 8 hours of private recordings of people who only was trying to help her, expose their conversation, but that person's the victim. Have I ever played a bunch of recordings of people who trusted me and was trying to include me because they felt sorry for me, or they, you know, you like, oh, you against nature, boy? Okay, well, come on with us, girl. You know, since we all on the same mission. But then after a while, you realize that person is not working with a full deck, and if they can't be included, they turn against you. Just like she turned against Nature Boy. She tried to get with Carbonation. They said no, and she turned against them. Okay? And the reason why I can say that is because everybody else who tried to work with her that separated themselves, she turned against them. So there's a pattern. It's easy to spot patterns. But these other people, they, I don't know what kind of trip they on. Micro hating is not going to get you nowhere, because you really don't have no real reason to be upset with me. You know, I'm not a factor. I'm not a big YouTuber. You know, I'm just playing the dozens. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I walked up to you with a glove and slapped you in the face and say, I challenge you to a duel. Let's go outside the stream and handle this. You know. You know, as NFTs grow in popularity, some collectors are striking it rich. So if you missed the Bitcoin thing, here's your second chance with NFTs. Okay. I know that's off the subject, but you know, all you got to do is check out the New York Times and check out #currency. So let me see what the chat is saying, because I ain't even play the audio of these haters. I'm going to play the audio of these micro haters who just can't stand lordship because he, you know, I don't know, his words are too painful in the chat room, and he's a hater, and he's just looking at people because he's a pervert. And yeah, I go on YouTube to find stuff visually pleasurable on YouTube, right? When I can go to a real adult site and look at some real shit going down, you know. But I'm gonna look for that on YouTube. Seeing a MILF scantily dressed is gonna do it for me. When I've been to the mountaintop, you know, I've seen some real shit on the real channel. I'm trying to figure out why, you know, you're doing that shit over here, you know. But you know, more power to you. I never really hated on that. You thought I hated on that, but do what you got to do. It's tough out there. Gas is almost $7. You know, if you got to do the cabaret thing on a regular website, I mean, even WorldStar have an adult entertainment section. WorldStar has a soft erotica section. And then you got places like X Videos. There's hundreds of websites. But no, you want to do some bullshit on YouTube. I remember when I flew to England first class for the weekend, and we was drunk as fuck. at 6 in the morning, and the first hotel said, "Oh, you don't want to stay here. It's a family hotel. You would be bored here." Now, did I get drunk? Did I say they racist? Did I say that they hating on me because I'm black? They fucking with me. They're drunk shaming me. They're just drunk shaming me because I'm drunk and they don't want me to see. They don't want families to see me. But we here. We black people. We here. I didn't argue with that motherfucker. I was drunk. I just landed. I flew first class to England. I was like, well, fuck it then. We went to the. I didn't even get rude with him when he said that this is a family hotel and you wouldn't like it here. I'm in his country. I don't know what from what, and I don't want to seem like an asshole. So when he said that, I went, okay, thank you very much, and I went to a bed and breakfast and stayed there, which was more smaller and more cooler because it was more personal. A bed and breakfast, and all right. But your Moes and your Prometheus and your Latanyas would have took that shit personal. Oh, I'm calling Better Business Bureau. I'm calling the NAACP. These motherfuckers is hating on me because I'm black. They just because I had a couple of drinks, they don't want to let me stay there. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you go overboard and you use words that don't fit the occasion. It's too strong for the situation and it's misleading. And then you ask people questions that are blocked and they cannot answer the questions because they are blocked. And then the question itself is loaded. But if you don't really, if you're not that smart, if you live somewhere where they rank 32 in education, you know, Fayetteville ranks 32 in the nation in education. So you might not have those kind of social skills to know that those words are not appropriate for the situation. Matter of fact, you know, a lack of knowing the definition of words can really make you look foolish. And even though you don't know it, people are looking at you sideways because no matter how many times you say it, no matter if you raise your voice and yell it, it's still not what you think it is. You see? So, let me see. These phones are about to die. But I appreciate people coming through. Make sure you share this. Hit the thumbs up. I see the chat room getting real busy. Shout out to Stinson House, The Soup, and C. Wilson and Bright Street, and James and The Fly, and Indian Exposed, and yeah, I don't know why people. I think it's fun to hate his lordship, and I knew that when I was coming close to monetization, that somebody would try to take my channel down, and you know, either play the game or don't play the game. You know, if you play the game, then you play the game, and don't really cry about it. But if you too naive to know what you did to yourself, and when people tell you what you done to yourself and you don't believe them, you know, like somebody said, like I heard her say, so what if I show my address? Would that, no, that's the thing. That's the thing right there. There is no so what I show my address. You have to choose the right sentence, and you have to respect what is said to you. You didn't show your address. You jeopardize your privacy and safety by not taking precautions to ensure your privacy and safety. So you had some, if we believe you, you had some cause that you'd rather not have. It's because when you were live and people told you, hey, we can see your mom's number, you said, I'm not worried about it. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. And all you had to do is what I did. I didn't like the audio on my live a few minutes ago, so I shut down the whole show. And when I'm doing music and stuff, if I show a folder or I show some names or I show something in my live that I didn't want to show, I shut the show down in private and then go live again. So I just did that 30 minutes ago. The audio was messing up. I was feeling myself, and I'm totally embarrassed. I was totally embarrassed about the show right before this, and I shut it down. And this show is only at 90%. I still see some red in the readout in the meter. The audio meter it keeps hitting the ceiling every now and then. But yeah, to be honest, I don't have no enemies on YouTube. Now, there's some people who may not like me based on rumors and hearsay or, shit like that. But I am not the YouTube guardian angel. I am not the YouTube S1W. I do not belong to any group or organization. Okay? You ain't never going to see me be interviewed on the House of Consciousness. I'm not with any group. I'm Han Solo. I cannot tell another adult what to do. I can't even tell a person in a relationship with what to do. So how in the hell I'm going to tell a stranger on YouTube what to do? And if I tell them what to do, how can I force them to do it? So when you say you brought this person over here or you pulled that person up, that's insulting. When they say you pulled my baby daddy up, that's insulting. That's insulting to him, and that's insulting to the people that talk to him, because when you lied to him about people trying to hurt your son, that's when he came. But luckily he had common sense, and luckily he could read and comprehend, and he just kicked it in the background and paid attention and listened. And then one day he hit that link and said, hey, I'm so and so. So didn't nobody pull nobody up? I don't even know what that means. When people say I pulled up on Lordship, if you ain't outside in the car, you didn't pull up on me. There is no pulling up on the internet. And there's another thing she don't understand. She thinks that people follow her around and go to all her channels and go to her podcast and all that shit. Well, that's how you see it, because you think that online is like being at home and on the street. Like you already said that you can't be recorded in your house. Of course you can't. If there's an expectation of privacy, nobody can put a camera up to your window with your curtains cracked and film you in your house. But on the internet, you're on the internet, and when you mark your show as public, that means you have no expectation of privacy, and you're on the internet. And the reason why people know, nobody has to do a background check. Maybe somebody did. It's hundreds, thousands, millions of people online. Maybe one idiot did a background check. That don't have nothing to do with the other strangers who don't know each other and don't know you. I would never pay for a background check. Matter of fact, they send you a message and tell you who did the background check. They send you a message. But someone who don't watch you may have done a background check. But for those of us that watch, you put all your own information out there. Nobody would have known what your two exes look like until you showed them with the DU recorder. Nobody would have known what your son or your parents look like until you showed them with the DU recorder. Nobody would have known that you was in an accident that you caused until you showed the app, and you can see where the car was merging on the freeway. You even saw the name of the freeway. And if somebody really was against you or hated you, they would have contacted your insurance company and gave them a video of you reckless driving. So even if it wasn't your fault, it's your fault because you were live streaming while driving. If you was in a phone call while driving, it's your fault. So just imagine live streaming while driving. It's your fault, even if it ain't your fault. But just like that lady who had an accident with that old man, soon as she got out the car, she saw that she was in a better condition than him. So she said, "Are you okay? It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not mad at you. You didn't mean it." And I'm sitting there going, "This bitch finna railroad this dude." And it was an old black man and it was a white lady. No offense to white people, but she started talking condescending, and she started talking because she know people around who didn't see the accident is listening, and he ain't even in a condition to talk. And then he got into an argument with the police because he knew he was being railroaded. And I was like, that's fucked up. And that's how people act on YouTube. They call my mama and my daddy. Yeah, because you allowed the number to be on the screen, and somebody said, "Hey, your daughter is letting your number show to millions of people on the World Wide Web." If somebody called the police, yeah, a lady looks like she's about to try to commit suicide. Can you do a welfare check? Ain't nobody calling the police saying that you stole something. Go to her house because she got a bunch of stolen merchandise all over the house. No, somebody said this lady has pills. She's slurring her words. She's nodding out, and we don't know if she's pretending or acting, but we think she may commit this suicide. Now, me personally, I didn't call because I don't do that, but somebody did because it's the World Wide Web. Another time, she was getting drunk, playing with sex toys and loud music and lingerie, and the police came and they said, "Your keys are in the door also." And she got online and said the police didn't know the keys were in the door until they got there, and nobody at home, nobody on my live knew I had my keys in the door. Okay, but whoever called the police feel even better about calling the police because not only you was belligerent, drunk, playing with sex toys, and you already said you was scared to be alone and live at that same address because your address is out there. They called the police because if somebody came in on you, you wouldn't be in a condition to protect yourself. And when the police came, these cell phones are so great now with their omnidirectional microphone. We heard every time the police came, we heard what they said, and then you would get on the camera and say something different, and everybody's going, "Why is she lying to us? We're strangers. Like, it ain't gonna make you or break you if you lie, whether you tell the truth or not." I mean, people won't believe you ever, but some things is like, why even lie about it? Like, why? It don't even matter if you say I gotta get offline because I gotta do laundry and take a shower. Only you know if you did the laundry or take a shower. And when we see the dirty clothes in the next live and we see that the basket ain't moved and the dresser is still dirty, 2 years later, everything is still in the same place. Common sense tell you ain't shit being done. If you ain't never made a jelly sandwich or cooked macaroni or something for your son, or checked on him, or told him you love him, or excuse me, y'all, I gotta go say goodnight to my son, anything, then obviously that nigga don't live with you. All right, and if it, I don't know if you know this, but everybody's not a deviant of society. Everybody don't live on the edge and depend off the street. Some people pay taxes. So when you talking that bullshit about free money, I'm trying to get all the money, and you brag, not you, Latanya, but people like 21 Bad brag about getting $4,000 in food stamps separate from SSI, along with making $100,000 a year from Big O. Yeah, somebody's gonna call. Somebody's gonna call. So let me play some of this audio while I read the chat so I can go to bed. Okay, here we go. Oh, I must say that Prometheus have great choices, and when he chooses music, he really choose the appropriate songs for the occasion. He has good taste in hip hop, if I can say something positive about him. Also, I know Sheba didn't dox me because when Latanya talks about me, she has no clue about me. She don't know shit about me. But she threw Sheba under the bus and said that Sheba gave her the pictures, but the pictures were pixelated. And she may have gave her the pictures because she was mad about being kicked out of a group, but nobody used that group. Nobody was in that group, so I don't blame Sheba anymore. She may have gave her the picture because she knew that she couldn't do nothing with the picture anyway, so it's one big joke, and then she trusts Sheba even more. But for some reason, I guess Sheba, when she throws Sheba under the bus, Sheba's never around. But I think Sheba give her a break because she know that she's not working with a full deck, I guess. But I have nothing against Sheba. I understand her anger because when she got kicked out the group, all of a sudden Latanya had a pixelated fake picture of me that I made myself and dropped in the private group as a joke. So anyway, I'm not really like I said, I never was mad at Sheba anyway. I was just pointing out a fact, like, hey, the picture came up. Even Latanya confirmed it and says Sheba gave her my real picture, stuff like that. So either Latanya is a liar or she's honest Bob. So you got to choose. If people believe that she a victim and all that, she said in her last live that Sheba gave her my real pictures. So if she's a truthsayer and she's a person that needs to be left alone because she's just a sweet person trying to report on a sex code and she don't bother nobody, well, if she says Sheba gave her the pictures, we must believe her. But I'm going to tell Sheba that I don't believe Latanya when she says that. I believe you only gave her the pixelated pictures and you was laughing yourself later on. And the way she describes me and describes my life and who I am, I know for a fact that Sheba did not give her any information because Latanya is way off base. So I was wrong about Sheba. Now, Sheba may have done dirt to other people, but she owned up to it and admitted it. You know what I'm saying? And Diet owned up to it or whatever, and that's fine. But me myself, I never got my hands dirty, and I've never I don't control people. That's all I'm saying. I can't make an adult do anything, and an adult cannot be bullied. It's impossible. If an adult kills themselves because of something was said about them, or they didn't like the way they were being portrayed online, or they felt like they was made a fool of, that means that adult had a mental illness. That was not a normal functioning human being. If an adult has a childlike mind, then that adult can be bullied. Yes, an adult with a childlike mind can be bullied, but only children and maybe people who are insecure about their lifestyle. Maybe they can be bullied. But remember, not too long ago, certain sexualities and stuff like that was considered a mental health condition. Matter of fact, prostitution was considered a mental health condition. America thought that if you was a prostitute, you was either forced or you were mentally slow. Period. They could not fathom why anybody would purposely get into the industry. But that changed, so things have changed. But we must always keep a firm grip in reality. You see? So let me see what this audio say. When I talk about these people, I don't make fun of their names and stuff like that. I don't call them his weird shit. I don't call them motherfuckers and assholes. I just stick to the facts, you know. But that's why I'm blocked. That's why I've been muted. That's why they can ask loaded questions and I can't respond. Matter of fact, because what I say are like, they're like daggers. They're like piercing bullets. It hurts. They feel it in their ribs, you know. It hurts their heart to hear what I have to say when I beg to differ, when I respond, when I'm a you know, people are not allowed to be contrarians, you know. Let's see what's going on here.
Trash ass. I don't have a problem with crackers. I don't have a problem with crackers. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Crackers. Trash ass. Hope. Trash ass. Hope.
Tomboyish wants to play games. Let me give me a second here, because this is impromptu. You know, I hadn't sat. Actually, I was working on a show for got nothing to do with them people. Forget them dudes. But one person in here or 20. I don't care if there's 10 people that see this video or 250. I really don't give a shit about none of that. But what you're not gonna do is spin this shit about a comment about chicken wings. It's real simple, Diva. It's real simple. It's just you trolled me, I trolled your motherfucking ass back. That's what happened.
Now, did you hear that? You trolled me, I trolled your motherfucking ass back. So when I was blocked and, you know, cussed out and slandered by Uncle Fester, all I did was troll Uncle Fester back. But I guess this logic only applied to them, you know. And all the shit he done to people when he was a troll, and I guess he a reformed troll. I guess he's not a troll anymore. You know.
Share something with you. Because Diva Tomboyish wants to present it as if one comment that she made, and the fact of the matter is, Diva, it's not that at all. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Let me get rid of diet real quick. Get out of here, diet. So I don't know if you can see this comment. Let me get rid of that.
Now, if I do this, I'm called a stalker. You know, I don't know. I don't have that kind of vocabulary. Like some people have this a huge negative vocabulary. I don't even have that many negative words, but what he's doing is I guess defending himself or something. But if I do this, I'm stalking. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get back to it, because I'm going to skip some of it.
Tell your audience the truth, Diva. It's just a troll game, right? You're a troll. I just reverse trolled you tonight. You got in your feelings. You went live about the shit. Different than the other people that I speak out against. Give me one second. I'm having some audio. Having some audio issues, guys. Sorry about that. Again. I had you don't want to, because it's funny to me. But this is your boy. You talked about Shady, right? And that he didn't block me in a chat. Hey, Diva, you think I give a fuck about what Shady does or doesn't block me in a fucking chat room? This motherfucker is... Look on your screen, Diva. Matter of fact, let me make that larger for the audience. Hey, Diva, just in case you can't see it, because I'm getting real annoyed with you cross sector motherfuckers that want to, you know, kind of change the way shit goes. I've been quiet about a lot of y'all, and I never said anything. The truth of the matter is this at the end of the day, Diva, is you're no different. You're no different than the other people that I speak out against.
Yeah, he having audio problems. Like, everybody can't do me. Everybody can't be me, you know. And, you know, like he said, I don't have issues with these people, but they be so on the defense. They think everything is an attack. So, you know, there's no reasoning with them. You know, they got potential, you know, but there's no reasoning with them. And, you know, how can I bully this person? How can this person be a victim? Check this out. This is the kind of people that that they say that I mess with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hurting this person. You know, I'm the bad guy. But wait till you see this. But let me go back. You know, they loved her because of her vulgarity, her rudeness and disrespectfulness. They used to be in the chat room whooping it up. Check this out. Check out the load of disrespect here.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
you
See, I wasn't
lay
sure
that
who to
on
go
your
about.
live when you're going in
about
on
just
yelling,
like gang
screaming,
stalking and targeting fucking bullshit. I didn't know.
Okay.
But thank
Yeah.
God
I
my
appreciate
grandma's a
that.
smart biatch,
let
and she
me
found
see.
out exactly who the fuck I need to contact. What I think is fucked up is you guys call me a Karen. I'm all this shit when I defend myself, but when you motherfuckers do it, it's okay, right? It's okay. You guys are talking about flagging people's channels and shit. Now, didn't you just post something? Let me ask you this shit, your weird shit. I saw something that I'm assuming was directed at me because I posted that I was flagged, right? And then you said something about, I can't remember the words you used. It was quite harsh. Talking about that you follow guidelines. We follow guidelines. You always say don't use y'all, but you sure use we a lot, right? Who's we? A. And B, that's a fucking lie. Because wasn't your buddy Auntie Miracle fucking flagged? Yeah, she was. Wasn't your fucking buddy the rabid dog flagged quite a few times? Yeah, she was.
Now, you wonder why they have issues, right? See how they associate me with bullshit, but yet I go around to everyone's channel and have a great time. I can go to two enemies' channels and have a great time because they're not my enemy. You make these assumptions and associations, and you're condescending, just like Labanya. And the only reason you calling her Labanya because you want to distance yourself with that person. But I don't have to disrespect someone to distance myself. I can just let my actions show that I distance myself. You see? You could just check the records. You could just check the chat rooms that when bullshit go down, I'm not around. You know? Now, support is like having membership. You know, this dude said, take my wrench in the middle of the show, and I feel some kind of way about it. I just waited a couple of years. I didn't have time because it was small fries. His channel was small. Nobody know him. When he said take my wrench, I didn't even know where it was coming from. I still don't really know why he wanted his wrench taken. but I guess it made him look bad. So he thinks giving having a wrench in my room makes him look bad. He never had his wrench taken. He's never been blocked. Even after he said take his wrench, and he embarrassed me in my show and stopped my show to do this, because everybody have their own perspective, right? I'm using their logic. I'm trying to think like a victim. You rudely asked me to take your wrench and threw the wrench on the ground and stepped on it and walked out my chat room. And then let's fast forward 3 years. You're a member of another channel, and you think not having a wrench on my channel but being a member of another channel makes you look good. You see? And if I don't have a wrench in that person's channel, it's probably politics, but I'm not going to take it personal. It's just a wrench. You know, you have membership at a channel that I don't have a wrench, that I used to have a wrench, but ask that person to show you a DM or show a screenshot of me saying, hey man, what happened to my wrench? No, we just keep it moving. We men, we ain't tripping. A few people, my wrench is not in a few people's channels, but they go through channels like people go through socks. They don't got time to wrench up every motherfucker and that sub to them. They keeping it moving. They making shows. They're actually content creators. You know, but you part-time micro haters who don't even keep your content up long enough to mature, who are afraid of other people's statements, y'all motherfuckers are a trip, you know. So let's hear a few more words from this micro hater. Okay.
But again, I swear on my kids, I didn't flag you, bitch. I would tell you if I flagged you. And this is the thing. It's okay for other people to flag for their content, and you shouldn't use their content, and you'll respect other people. But when I do it, I'm being a crybaby Karen. Y'all always refer to me with something fucking racial. Not you, your weird shit. You have in the past, calling me Karens and shit. But other motherfuckers do.
Okay, did you hear the shade? His weird shit. So I'm supposed to overlook that. That's not instigating or taunting a person. See? And then she said, not you, his weird shit. See, she tried to be nice, but still was insulting and condescending at the same time. And that's the problem with the bonnet. The bonnet is condescending. Talk to people like they stupid. If you don't know that you are calling people stupid when you talk to them, you know, you're gonna have a hard time in life. You know, you don't know why you don't have friends and people don't fuck with you. It's because of your vocabulary, the words that you choose when you're dealing with people. So she tried to say, not you, his lordship. You did say some things, but I mean, his weirdship. I'm like, you still want the smoke. You could take the high road or the low road. I ain't do nothing but make a picture, and you couldn't even tell that it was her. And she gonna say she can't even tell it's her, but she said, I recognize my earrings. Well, when Andy Warhol did a portrait of Grace Jones, she was flattered. Whenever Andy Warhol did portraits of people, they were flattered. You know, I'm an artist. My art is a little dark and it's full of satire, but you should be flattered. You know, some people write a lot of words, like she write books in your comments. In this video, she's gonna write an almanac, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. When I make a picture, I don't have to write text because the picture said it for me. if you a big fan of Latanya and all that shit, then you should merge together. So I put Latanya face on her body. You know what I'm saying? This is Mad Magazine.
Group. All hell break loose if I said some shit like that. Y'all get so offended if someone calls you something, but fuck if y'all don't refer to me as Karens and honkies and crackers and every fucking thing else.
Once again, please show the receipts of me saying hunky cracker. And for you, the way you curse, you and your friend Prometheus and Suicide and all y'all, you guys use vulgar language all the time. If I use the word bitch or something, why is that so out of the ordinary? There is no receipts of me saying hunky cracker or white girl or whatever. But if I do use the word bitch or whatever, that's normal talk for you and your associates. I mean, for your district or your people or your city or I don't know. That's it shouldn't be offensive. So anyway, I don't got time. She's not really referring to me. I'll play a few more seconds, then I'm gonna switch to something else. All right.
Marks and everything else for who I love. Y'all tried your damnedest to paint me out of fucking racist. You've tried your damnedest to accuse me of crimes. Watch out, Frey. Accuse me of crimes, saying I fucking...
She just doxed her cat. You know what I'm saying? Now how that cat supposed to feel? All on the World Wide Web. Shit. The cat had to go on the camera and say, what the fuck is she talking about? Now, you know, it's late here. This house have never heard so much cussing. All I'm playing is Prometheus and Miss Mo's audio. And I have to keep the audio down because we don't curse in a house like this. I don't even care if my son was grown. We're not going to be speaking like that around him. But this is normal for her. She could be wrapping up a little sex show, a little sex talk and shit, and you can hear her say hello to her son or whatever as they come to the front door or whatever. And then she said, I got to end my live, y'all. My kids are home. And then she tried to look like a noble mother by ending the live and taking care of her kids. So I guess that makes her think that she's better than some other people that's live that don't get off live. But they still listening to your trash mouth, you know. And since there is no no straightening this is out, you know, like you won't apologize and you won't concede and you won't, you know, meet a person halfway on this whole situation, you and your boyfriend, then fuck it then. You're gonna be my project until the summertime. But see, they know this, right? Because they know that everybody I fuck with get monetized, whether they friend or foe. So you want the monetized treatment. But see, you get monetized from me exposing your truths, and then you'll lose the whole channel after you get monetized. And it'll be legit. There's nobody who ever got their channel took and it wasn't a legitimate takedown. Because if it wasn't legitimate, you get your channel back. That's why Auntie got her channel back and everybody else got their channel back. If they're not using it, it's just a personal choice. But trust me, the people that you flagged or somebody else flagged on your behalf, they got their channel back because it was legit. But the shit you doing, you need to be on X videos or MILFs Are Us or some bullshit like that. You know? Let's carry on. Let's watch the person that they fell out with me over. This is the person that Prometheus said, man, you messing with that lady, man, take my wrench. I don't want to be associated with this shit. So let's see who he, because they like to pin me with people, but he has a membership with someone that people have issues. I don't have issues with him, but this nigga is weird. He has a membership with one of the most hated persons on YouTube, but he want to talk shit about me. And he ain't never gave me a dime. He ain't never financed my bullshit. You know, in my room, in some people's rooms, if they have a wrench, it's because they are a financial supporter, because that's how they run their room. In my room, if you got a wrench, you just got a wrench because you cool with me. It has nothing to do with donations behind the scenes. I do not get donations. And then this nigga come around and say, you shouldn't have to pay for lessons for OBS Studio, and you shouldn't have to pay for intros. Right? But if I'm online saying hit that cash app, he'll be the same motherfucker to say, you be online begging for donations. Well, let me earn my pay then. But people who live stream, they do work hard. But if they just sitting with their phone in their hand, then I don't understand them getting money. But if somebody really put in work to produce a show and have music and commercials or whatever, and interview people and go out in the field, yeah, they put in that work, man. Somebody should hit, take care of them. But you don't hear me. I'm going to start doing that, but you don't hear me saying hit that cash app, and look, that motherfucker got his cash app name sideways on his page, just like me. See, they love everything about lordship but lordship. Isn't that funny? So we're going to end the show with this grand finale. And I'm sorry if I missed anything in the chat room, whether it's positive or negative, but I'm going to read it later. If not now, I'm going to read it on the playback. You know what I'm saying? And then I will respond on my community page. So I'm gonna leave after this. Thank you for showing up. I see Vicky and G_5, grandmother 5. I see a lot of people. I do need glasses. I don't have any glasses. I know people think I'm rich or whatever, but no. But shout out to everybody that showed up and showed out. And please hit that share button and stuff like that. Shout out to the people in the background, the people that's peeping and not speaking. This is not a roast video. This is not an attack video. I'm just stating how I feel personally. Check this out.
If somebody sent me something that Velvet did not post of the baby, for example. So if Velvet had a picture and it wasn't on social media, but one of her family members sent it to me, I wouldn't post it. Is the baby naked? Is the baby naked? No. So now they're grasping. See, you see what I mean? You see what I mean? So I said the word naked, but the baby's not naked. So in other words, wait. So they're saying, first they said I showed photos of the baby. Now they're saying that the baby's not naked. The baby's not naked. So now I'm showing a baby. She's not naked, and I said the word naked. Okay. Okay. Yeah. They are reaching.
It all started 2 years ago, April 4th, 2019. Now, she's on Nature Boy's Instagram, but she's broadcasting on YouTube, and she's going through his pictures. Now, this is a head-to-toe, close-up, nude picture of the baby, but I cropped it. This is Latanya live broadcasting, and look at the expression on her face. Let's listen in.
There she go. Naked. 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 No clothes on. There you have it. Baby Aliana has never been naked. And then, hold on. Now I'm really gonna bust their ass. Where would I have gotten it from? Let's ask this question. Where would I have gotten it from? Where would I get the picture from? See, here's the problem with that. Eligio himself posted her when she was a baby. Meaning that if she's been dropped on the floor, when she was hit, that is the only time that I posted anything about that baby. I don't post baby Eliana like that. There she go. Naked. 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 No clothes on. There you have it. Baby Aliana has never been naked. And then, hold on. Now I'm really gonna bust their ass. Where would I have gotten it from? Let's ask this question. Where would I have gotten it from? Where would I get the picture from? See, here's the problem with that. Eligio himself posted her when she was a baby. Meaning that if she's been dropped on the floor, when she was hit, that is the only time that I posted anything about that baby. I don't post baby Eliana like that. Put me back. Send me somewhere. Please come get me. That's how she looking. She like, you bitch. You wait till I start talking. I got some words for you and my daddy. Y'all damn near killed me, you trifling bitches. Y'all, you letting this motherfucker do you dirty, you bitch. You letting this man disrespect you, you bitch. And I got respect for you. I ain't never gonna have no respect for you, bitch. I ain't even gonna like your ass, bitch. If you don't even like your ass, bitch. If you don't even have no respect for yourself, I damn sure ain't gonna have no respect for you, bitch. I just don't like you. Look at her face. You can't tell me she ain't saying it. She like, bitch, you are just a trifling bitch. You don't like me and I don't like you.
That is why I made the whole series Surviving LaTanya Jones. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. You know, this person will tell the chat room to shut up, stop typing, call people dummies every 5 minutes, bald-headed bitches, all kind of shit. And all I do is say, hey, you know, New Mexico is the 49th state, not the 50th state. Hey, you can vote if you live in Alaska or Hawaii. And no, Hawaii wasn't a country 10 years ago. And Nicaragua is not in South America. You know, this person claims to know Nature Boy and have Nature Boy's mind, and this person always, you see how Miss Mo said, who is we? Well, LaTanya always say Nature Boy and me, us, me and Nature Boy and I, me and Nature Boy. She say that all the time. Like, why would you associate yourself with, if he's a bad person and a pedophile and a person giving disease out and stuff, why would you keep saying Nature Boy and I, me and Nature Boy? Why would you offer him fellatio? Why would you tell him that you could give him better fellatio than his real wife? And why would you gang stalk and organize a witch hunt against him and his legitimate wife? And then, you know, the baby is innocent, but you ran a campaign to not buy the baby stuff. Do you remember that? You ran a campaign to not buy the baby stuff, and then at the same time said that you would be the baby's foster parent if they asked. You offered to be the baby's foster mother, at the same time disrespecting the mother, but you always using her phrases and always quoting the mother. Because when you say at the end of the day, you trying to sound like Velvet. She took all the Velvet phrases. You know, you look like Velvet grandmother. Okay, that's the first insult tonight. Because I get frustrated with ignorance. And deliberate ignorance. You know, it's like a trend to be ignorant right now. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. How many people say that at the end of the show? Friend or foe, naysayer or supporter, I still appreciate you. And this is his lordship. I really went too long. I'm going to be like sleeping at work tomorrow. That's not cool. Well, today. And I got to move my car in a few hours, and I'm trying to get at least 3 hours sleep. So I'm going to need my mods to put in a little work now. We're going to change the direction of the show. You're going to be allowed to block. You can block Miss Mo or Prometheus or LaTanya if you see them in the chat room. This has never been done before. And if you see any bots, you can block the bots. But that's it. If they want the smoke, they can get it. And if they want to reconcile and be adults and not be so damn sensitive, we can do that too. So I'm going to need my mods to say goodbye to everybody while I walk off the stage. Thank you, Peace and Hair Grease. Thank you for hanging out. I know it's late, but you know I'm a busy person just like you, and it was all good. Peace and Hair Grease.